Alright, and the stream is up and running. I think I cut this one too thin. Yeah, that's way too thin. We'll get another one though. It's fine. Yeah, that should be about the right width. Okay, so... crap. Kept getting smaller as I went on. So I should be able to use, like, some of it here. I'm gonna try using the knife again. See if that works better. That's perfect. Now here comes the part that I hate. So after I like trim off like all the loose stuff on here, I'll need to what is it? I'm gonna need to start putting it around the edges of the ear. Alright, so that should be more than enough. Let's just kind of bend this a little bit. And then, hey Eddie, welcome to the stream. So yeah, we're gonna bend this ear just a little bit. Or not ear, it's not an ear yet. We're gonna bend this strip of cardboard just a little bit so we can make the ear. There we go. And then I'm gonna get some hot glue. Already looking infinity better than my Freddy head. Like, honestly, I don't think I got the shaping on this one exactly right. Well, of course I'm not going to get it exactly right, but I don't think I did too good on like the shaping. Like, you could kind of see like it's not the same shape as Withered Freddy. It's more of like a normal Freddy looking thing. So I don't know. I feel like I kind of screwed up on that. That's all right. The snoot looks so weird, a little weird. Oh, it's probably because it's like falling over. It's not glued on yet. I'm not gluing it on just yet. That way, I can. I need to wrap it up in a different color fabric than the rest of the head. So, I'm going to wrap it up separate, which is what I did with the Withered Foxy mask. Oh, I thought it was glued. That's fine. For most of my other masks, other than Withered Foxy, I had like glued them on beforehand, so I don't blame you. Yeah, this is why I hate making ears so much, because there's all this waiting, like just for like all this hot glue to dry. I actually have something with me that might make that easier, or not take as long, because but I'm kind of like debating on whether or not I should turn it on, because it's a fan, but fans make noise, and I have no idea how that's going to sound on the headphones, so it might like end up being like really like sound freaking horrible. So I'm not sure if I want to turn it on. Just wondering, but at the end of the stream, can you show us how you made the glove part of Spring Bonnie? Ooh, okay, so it's actually funny you say that, because I've been thinking about making another hand for like the finger part, not just the full glove. All right, because I was thinking about making Springtrap's left hand, because I only have his right hand made. And I got like a crap ton of fabric while I was at the store. Like, I ended up using a lot of it to make Withered Bonnie limbs and some other stuff. But I also got 2 different kinds of fabrics to make, or to finish my Springtrap mask, and maybe even make Scrap Trap in the future, since I haven't seen anybody make Scrap Trap before, and people have been asking me to make them. So that's probably what I'm going to do. Maybe at the end of the stream, I'll start making Springtrap's Springtrap's hand. Like, and you could probably see how I did it, because it's basically, I make a bunch of cardboard rings. Just hit the chat for me. Okay. I was thinking about taking a wool glove and trying to do that, but the glove but on the glove, but my hand wouldn't show, if that makes sense. So for the glove, essentially what I do is, for Springtrap's hand, last time, and for Spring Bonnie, I usually don't make full-on gloves, since he's meant to be a spring suit. But for those fingers, they're basically a bunch of rings and stuff that I just cover with a tiny bit of fabric, and then what is it? And then I just kind of put them together. So every time I put the costume on, I put like each piece on individually. So um, yeah, hopefully I'll be able to show you at the end of the stream, because I'm not sure if I want to start putting the fabric on Withered Freddy on the live stream, because my movements are kind of restricted when I am live streaming, because I have to wear the headphones or else my mic sounds horrible. Um, hopefully I'll be able to get like an actually good mic to set down that I won't have to like attach to my head pretty much. But for now, this is the best mic I got for or on my laptop. There's the mic on my camera, but I don't think I can just attach that to my laptop. So instead of attaching fabric and stuff to it, I probably could make spring traps other hand. Alright, so this should be done hopefully soon. And then once it's done, we're going to just kind of make about 4 more cutouts, because I forgot to do that earlier, of like this portion of the ear, just the top part. That way we could glue it on top of this area. Alright, so just in case, I'm going to add another layer of hot glue on the other side. That way it's just kind of more securely put in place. Something's going on with my hot glue gun. It's like not... Okay, there we go. It wasn't like feeding the hot glue stick into the gun, so trying to figure out what was going on there. Okay, so we're gonna just let that dry for a little bit. And then while that's going on, I'm gonna take this ear and I'm gonna start cutting out the sides for it. Where's my pencil? So also, that Cranky Kong video I made was literally a pain, because I had to go through frame by frame and make... Oh my god. I tried to do something like that before, but I just kind of gave up. I don't think I have the patience to do something like that. Oh, it might be better if I try to do that this way. Whew. 22 frames. Oh my god. So you might as well have been like freaking animating it yourself, with you going like frame by frame just to make it green screened. I feel like there is a easier way to make a green screen, but I couldn't find anything on it. Yeah, I wouldn't know too much about green screens. I want to start using them in my videos and stuff because then I don't have to like always make big sets, which even then I probably still will. But at the same time, with the I don't really have anything to use as a green screen. Like like it doesn't have to be green, but at the same time, a bunch of the other stuff I have is, or that I could probably use, like all blue would probably conflict with most of the costumes I got. So I'm thinking that I might wait to do green screen stuff just because I don't think I'm ready to start doing that kind of stuff yet. Okay, so we got one piece down. We need to make about 4 of these little things. One for each side of the ears, for both ears. Time to break out the cardboard and lime green paint, I guess. I don't think I have lime green paint. If I did though, I'd probably just go and like see if I could get some bright green fabric. I technically have like a yard of that stuff, but I'm using it for Springtrap. What sucks is that they didn't have the right colors for them that I got last time. So there's going to be just like a slight shade difference in or between his left arm and legs. So yeah, hopefully it won't look too bad. But at the same time, like, crap, I traced the wrong thing. Here, I'm gonna flip this over and retrace it, because each time I trace the same thing, it, like, becomes larger, so I have to be careful on when I do that. I can't wait to see you suffer with making Withered Chica. Also, I got the shape of Bread Bear. Bread Bear is just... That was one of the weirdest edits I've ever seen. But at the same time, like, I don't see why it became, like, a full-on meme. Like, as funny as it is. But with Withered Chica, it might not be as bad, because essentially all I'd really be doing is making a top jaw and a bottom jaw, and just connecting the two, which is what I normally do, like, for, Withered Foxy. It's just I'd have to make some other stuff for it. Hey, Lua. If that's... I can never tell if I'm pronouncing your name right. But anyways, welcome to the stream. I need to please the Reddit. Oh, you're making Bread Bear? Holy crap. Alright, so... we are on the final... Or not final. The second to last little ear shape we're going to need to cut out. And then we could start putting this strip of cardboard onto this ear base. I made the snoot differently in more like the actual snoot, unlike my Withered Freddy snoot. That said snoot a lot in that sentence. Yeah, snouts are... they can be kind of challenging at times for me. Like, it's mostly with the shaping. Not only that, but I remember getting somewhat frustrated trying to hold my Fredbear mask snout together. Also, I finally figured out how to proportion my masks the right size. Like, with all my other freaking masks from Spring Bonnie and onward, they were freaking huge. Even Springtrap was freaking huge. But yeah, all those masks were way too big. So now I'm working on, now I'm working on making like the head smaller. I was able to get Withered Foxies to like a decent size. To be honest, Fredbear looks a lot like Nightmare Foxy with cut off snoot so far. I could kind of see that. Like with the what you need? You can have ice cream. Oh, okay. I'll come get some later. Alright. I'm trying to make Spring Bonnie suit cosplay. Nice! Just earlier I was talking with Eddie about making or similar hands and stuff on the live stream, so if you're having trouble with that, I could probably help. I need to round the front out a bit more. Rounding out my masks was a huge problem for me originally, as you could probably tell since they're all boxes. But I think sometime back in 2017 at some point, I'm like, okay, screw it. I'm going to try to make them not boxes. And I like cut the corners of most of them. And they weren't like fully rounded out. It's more like there was a slant on where the corners of their heads should be. Can you make the Bendy and the Ink Machine axe? Maybe sometime in the future, but not on the stream. Because right now, I'll probably do, for the majority of the stream, making Withered Freddy, and then we'll be working on Springtrap's hands. So, yeah. Another stupid question for me. What color are my eyes? They are blue. So, wait, are you talking my eyes or the mask's eyes? Well, either way, the answer is going to be blue. Have you made a salvage Springtrap mask from FNAF 6? Not yet, but I should have the stuff to start making that soon. I have 2 different kinds of bright green fabric. Well, they're not exactly bright green, because I grabbed some stuff to finish my Springtrap cosplay. And then I need to work on, and then whatever I have left over from that, I will probably use to make Scrap Trap sometime in the future, because a lot of people have been asking for that, not only from me, but that voice crack. Not only from me, but from some other people who, what is it? Like whenever I go into the comments of like other people who make masks and stuff, I see people asking for Scrap Trap, so I'm thinking, you know what, I might as well like start making them. Scrap Trap's forehead is gonna take 70% of your box inventory. Probably. The one thing I'm worried about for Scrap Trap is his shape, because I'm not as worried as I was, because his shape is very similar to Withered Freddy's, where like it kind of rounds out both here and then like comes back out around here, but his might be a little bit different and might even be harder to try to do. trying to figure out. I think this is what I used for the last year. That is not enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a little bit of this off. Let's move that wire, that way I don't freaking break my hot glue gun. Here, let me get the scissors. It'll be easier with this kind of stuff. Okay, and then we'll snip that off right there. I also thought everyone hated him. I don't know. It's weird. It's like, at first, people hated him because his design was different, I want to say. Not only that, but I think out of all of the models Scott has made, Scraptrap is probably the worst. Mostly because the withering on him. But, I mean, in the end, I guess it's not that bad. I could make Scraptrap if I wanted to, but I don't feel like making cardboard bone lungs. Oh my god. That's my biggest pet peeve with Scraptrap. Just the freaking... The endoskeleton on it makes 0 sense. Okay, hold on. I kind of screwed up with the shaping on this. So what I'm going to do instead of cutting out an entirely new one is I'm going to trim this down to about right there, and then cut it off, and then I'll just use both strips. And whatever doesn't get covered by this strip, I'll cut off and use from this strip. Why do you make live streams at night or at midnight? It's when I have the most time, because during the day I'm like doing chores and all this other stuff, editing videos, and I rarely have time to make anything. That's why, it's like, sometimes I do, but a lot of the time I don't. So I just kind of wait until night. Trying to understand time zone anti. It's only like 11 for me, but still, that's pretty close to what they were saying. I just think Scott doesn't know how the human body works. Probably not. His lips and ears bother me. That's what gets me the most, because you could see that a bit better, like when he jump scares you, and it just, I don't know, it just kind of bothers me. And then, but when I make Scraptrap, I'm probably going to make it big enough to like wear an actual human skull mask underneath it, because I have this rubber mask of a realistic human skull that I'll be able to just kind of use for it. 1:47 for me. So you're like, what is that? Like 3 hours ahead of me. It's 12:48 for mine in America. Also, Mini Arena came out. Oh yeah, for custom night. That was actually kind of interesting, but when you look at the kind of pattern that's going on Got Games, it kind of makes sense. It's like going game by game. Like, all the characters next to each other are from the same game. Like, first it was Withered Chica. Or not Withered Chica. First we had Spring Bonnie, or not Spring Bonnie, Shadow Bonnie from FNAF 2. Then, I think is Nightmare Chica. And then we had Plush Trap, who was from FNAF 4, so it goes with. And then we had Bonnet and the Mini Arenas from Sister Location. So I think if the next one is Sister Location, it'll be Custom Night. It lagged. I hope he doesn't fill up the slots with just Sister Location. Yeah, I could kind of feel you there. Rip stream lag. Yeah, my laptop is not the best. The stream is literally dying. It's fine. Okay. I don't think it, like, lags on the playback. At least I'm not sure. I think it's only with the live? I could be wrong though. All right. So this is the boring part. We're just gonna wait for it to dry in my hands. Um, because we got hot glue that goes all the way around here, and then once it's done drying, we're gonna start putting some more, like another strip on here to just kind of finish where we left off. And then I think after I'm done with the ears, um, I'll either move straight onto, or I'll probably just stop what I'm doing with Withered Freddy and move on to making the Springtrap's left hand, like I said I would do, or I will work on what is it, or painting his top hat. Um, so yeah, you should make a remake of the. I just made that. Why? Wait. I don't think I'll be remaking it anytime soon. I might make another one. Um, but if I do that, I'm going to need more yellow fabric, which is like the one type of fabric I don't have right now. Not only that, but I'm more worried about stuff that I'll need for Give Gifts, Give Life episode, or the episode 5 remake, because at first I was going to cancel it. Like, not cancel it, but postpone it, and in a way I did, because it's no longer coming out June 26th. But I'm just kind of waiting on stuff to film it now. I had some pizzeria decorations that were going to be coming in sometime next week, I'm pretty sure. So, we need a Lefty remake, to be honest. I wasn't too happy with how that one turned out, but I doubt I'll be remaking any of the newer characters anytime soon, just because I feel like I should be, like, before I remake any of those, I should remake some of my older ones, like like the FNAF 1 crew, like the FNAF 1 Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Freddy. Um, Not only that, but I think before I remake Lefty, I'll at least finish the cosplay. Um, that way, um, I'll have more, or like an entire cosplay to use. I've been wanting to do some pizzeria simulator videos recently. Not like gameplay, but um, what is it? But like just kind of live action shorts. I had this idea for one, but I'm just kind of, again, I'm waiting on like some decoration supplies that I ordered. So yeah. Um, List of game characters I'm gonna be for Halloween: Spring Bonnie, Michael Afton. Michael Afton would be kind of hard to do with all the freaking purple makeup you'll need to use. However, I think I could probably do it at some point in the future. And Ink Bendy and Sammy Lawrence. Oh yeah, you mentioned that in the last stream. Yeah, I definitely want to have Michael Afton show up sometime in future episodes of Give Gifts, Give Life. I'm mostly waiting until after Custom Night, or also Custom Night, to be released before I start filming. That way I can make any last minute changes to the Give Gifts, Give Life episode 5 script, because if I'm there's so much lore in the episode that I'm trying to do, and I want to make sure I get everything right, which is the main reason why I postponed it in the first place, since I wanted to like kind of regather my thoughts on the entire fucking timeline after uh the whole Cassidy reveal. Are you gonna make some UCN videos? Just wondering. Um, I don't think I'll do gameplay. I have the stuff to record gameplay, but my laptop is very, very sensitive. And it lags a lot, which is probably why the stream lags so much. So there's a good chance I won't be able to do any recordings for it. Are you going to do Oh, I just read that. Why did I? For some reason, I thought I saw a new comment come in. It's the same one. I am stupid. But, yeah, if I could record UCN videos, I probably would try. If you have Toy Freddy in a video, make sure he's playing Five Nights with Mr. Hugs. That is highly important to the lore. Same with dabbing Chica. You know, I never thought about having the toys in a live action video. I don't know why. Like, I've planned on making them multiple times, but I've never, like, other than Mangle, I haven't really thought of any situations I could use them in. Which is the main reason why I'm working on Withered Freddy right now and not a toy animatronic. I've been trying to play Benny and the Ink Machine, Chapter 1. I have not been able to play those games yet, mostly because it's freaking not free, and most of my money goes into making this stuff. Most. Sometimes I buy other things, like Gushers. But anyways, this year is just about good. I can't download Steam. Oh, damn. I can download Steam, actually. It's how I've been able to play Pizzeria Simulator. I've been thinking about doing videos on that, but I've just kind of figured there's nothing I can really do that other people haven't done already, so you guys probably wouldn't be as interested in watching me play Pizzeria Simulator as you would watching me make like a skit or something on it. So yeah. All right. So the next part for this is we got to take these little slabs we made, and we're going to attach them to in the Ink Machine. Chapter 1 is free. Oh, grab! I didn't realize that. But yeah, we're gonna take these like little ear-shaped slabs, and we're gonna and we're gonna glue them on for the next part. Oh crap! Got a little bit too much hot glue on that side. You gotta like work fast when you're like putting hot glue on for these parts, or else you will kind of, or the hot glue will dry before you can get the thing on. And then, of course, you have to be careful lowering it because you're working with hot glue and you don't want to freaking burn yourself. Okay, and then that should be about it for that side, so we're going to let that dry. Anyways, let's check up on the chat. I want to work on so many animatronics, but it takes a while to make a really good mask. I really want to do Withered, Chica, Toy Freddy, Foxy, and Mangle. I know how you feel. Like, it's been a while since I've made a full mask. Like, for the past few videos, have been, like, it's just been me making, or repairing old stuff, making old stuff better, or, just kind of making these minor projects. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I'd much rather have. I'm pretty sure you guys would be more interested in seeing like a fresh new mask. Maybe Lolbit as well instead of Funtime Foxy, since she is literally Mangle. I've been wanting to make some of the sister location characters for a while, just for upcoming stuff. Like, I kind of want to do Funtime Freddy, but I'll probably have to either use EVA foam for the what is it? EVA foam for their faceplates, which should be fairly easy, but might be a little bit expensive to do, or paper mache, since I want to make them like shiny and stuff. But the rest of the chapters are not free, and you have to buy the rest of the chapters to play the rest of the chapters. I could kind of get that, because, I mean, you want to be able to make money off of, like, a product you have, or that you're making, and with a full game, I I feel like it's completely fair to charge people for a full game. Also, if you make a wearable Withered Chica mask, here is an idea on how to make the mouth of the mask be the mouth of the mask part, and maybe wear a ski mask and make your head an endo. Ooh, that might work. It's kind of like what I do with Withered Foxy whenever I wear the mask. I just kind of put something on, like around my, like I put like an extra piece of cloth around my face and head. So, um, that's mainly why I want to do Withered Chica, because it's a cool idea. And it works since her head is high on her body. Yeah. So I'm thinking another thing I could probably try to do is I could kind of make like a big tube in where the mouth is that would probably like cover up my head. Um, and we could turn that tube into an endo head for something like spray paint that part silver and just kind of add like an endo mouth and teeth to it. I don't. Hmm. I wouldn't say Mangle and Funtime Foxy are the same animatronic. I think it's kind of like how their Toy Freddy and Withered Freddy are not the same animatronic. I think they're just different generations of the same animatronic. Now, which one came first, I don't really know. My bet would be the sister location animatronics, just because I think sister location or the events of sister location took place before the events of FNAF 2. Um, but yeah, I don't think they're like the exact same character. Like just the same, like different models of the same character. Not only that, but Funtime Foxy became a part of Molten Freddy, so they can't really be in FNAF 2. And their endos are completely different in face. To be honest, I'm not accepting the FNAF World Funtime Foxy as a canon name for Mangle. She's just Toy Foxy, and Funtime Foxy is actually from the sister location before it was out. I can kind of see a reasoning behind that. I'd prefer to just say stuff like fixed Mangle or something like that, but it probably works better. Like we can't really say what Scott wanted for each character, since none of us here are Scott. Um, anyways, I mean, Scott did stuff like that before, I think, anyways. Well, one of us here is Scott. But he isn't here to answer our Q&A questions again. Okay, so all right. And I nearly burned myself there if that hot glue was hotter. Luckily, it had some time to cool down while I was lowering this thing on. Try to guess what was the first generation animatronics that Mr. Afton made? Like, that he made himself? I think, lore-wise, I would say probably I want to say probably Fredbear and Spring Bonnie, or Fredbear and or Spring Bonnie. But then again, Henry is canon, so it's likely William didn't make those. Henry did, just like in the book. I just realized it never says anywhere in the book that the spring locks were made by Henry. They probably weren't, but I think other than them would probably be the sister location animatronics. Yeah, I wouldn't count prototype animatronics. But then again, Henry could have made Fredbear and Spring Bonnie. So other than that, it's probably the Fun Times, and then I guess it really depends on if Sister Location came before or after FNAF 2, because the toy animatronics are a lot like the FNAF 2 animatronics in the way they're built with the design and stuff. But wouldn't it be the Sister Location and the Sister Location animatronics got moved to under the Fredbear? I don't know. You got it right. So Circus Baby's Pizza World got closed down. I like how we never even hear about Circus Baby's Pizza World closing down. We just hear about the entertainment and rental stuff in the game. Like, we only know it closed down because of a short thing in the teasers. And we all know how accurate those things can be, according to the FNAF 4 teasers with the whole 87 in the source codes. So, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. But, yeah. How did Michael Afton survive from getting scooped? That one's actually pretty well answered in the game. He technically did die. However, Remnant was able to bring him back. Now, whether or not he had the Remnant already in him is a good question. Because we know that the scooper from the blueprints we find in FFPS is or injects Remnant, which is what we know can bring animatronics and possibly people back to life. And I'm assuming Afton or someone took them to the underground Fredbear area. Probably. Crap, my nose is getting all stuffed up, so if I sound weird, that's why. He might have touched. It might not have touched the. Wait, the scooper's fuel is people's. No. It in the actual blueprints, it mentions how it injects Remnant. Here, I could probably pull it up on my phone. Let's see if I could find it while I'm waiting for that year to dry. Okay. Okay. Here it is. Yeah. So, according to this thing, the blueprints in the thing, if you can read it, under B it says Remnant Injector. Notes: leave trace line amount on interior overusage / overexposure negates effect, which, since it's saying leave trace amounts of what I presume to be remnant on the... Hello, Scrap Emily. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, since it's talking about leave trace amounts of what I presume to be remnant on the exterior of the scooper, it means that some definitely could have gotten inside Michael Lafton. Now, of course, there is the whole theory that the bite victim is Michael Lafton, and then if that's the case, then remnant was probably injected into him beforehand. The whole scooper thing is just pointing out how William Afton was able to bring him back to life after being chomped by Fredbear, which is also possible. So yeah. So now we got the 2 ears done. And I don't think I'll be wrapping them in fabric on stream. However, I do have a hat to paint. So I think that's what we'll be doing next. I will be right back. I need to go grab the paint and brushes. Okay, and I'm back. I don't believe Michael was the bite victim. I think Michael Afton was the older brother that wore the Foxy mask. That's what I thought before too. But then, I don't know, stuff started to seem to point to him becoming the bite victim. So I'm not sure how it's gonna be. Hold on. What is... when the games end, I want Scott to release a book explaining literally everything. I doubt he'll do that, but it'd be pretty cool. I have to sleep. Oh, good night. Alright, so for the first thing of paint on the top hat, I'm going to use this black acrylic paint stuff, and then I'm going to use this stuff for the outer coating just to give it a nice shine. But before I start painting, I'm going to start cleaning up some of the excess hot glue that was on the edges here, because I don't want to be trying to paint over that. But because then it'll start looking weird and just not smooth and generally not good. So, yeah. Still though, how could Funtime Freddy exist before Fredbear? I don't think that Funtime Freddy exists before Fredbear. I think that Fredbear was just still up and standing. Even if it was closed down, the location was still just connected to Fredbear's. Which creates a whole lot more leeway in the timeline. Because keep in mind, going back to what I was talking about earlier about Fredbear's and sister location, it's just likely that since William Afton owned both, or he co-owned Fredbear's and owned the sister location area, it's more than likely he was able to connect the two since he literally owns the place. Also, does FNAF 3 confirm Golden Freddy wasn't in the FNAF 1 kitchen since they never... Ooh. That's a good point. I actually haven't thought of that. In fact, that might confirm that... Or FNAF 3 might confirm that Golden Freddy doesn't physically exist because they don't have a physical form in the minigames either. I just realized I could be using the hot glue gun to just kind of start smoothing down areas where the hot glue was just kind of sticking up and rough, so. Oh crap, there's a bunch of stuff in the chat. When Sister Location was out, I thought the animatronics had souls in them, but Funtime Freddy and Funtime Foxy had no souls. Oh, please, I have no soul. I think they have souls in some form. Maybe not souls, but remnant at least. Assuming they busted the door down. Yeah. Then again, they didn't really go looking that hard for Springtrap. They had to have someone tell him where Springtrap was at. Yeah, Funtime Freddy has a storage tank for kidnapping children. Again, but I'm not 100% sure the children were killed, like, by the animatronics. I think they had experiments and stuff before that. Hey, welcome to the stream, Random 3D Modeler. We are just about to paint Withered Freddy's top hat. Move this stuff, or this cord, out of the way. And I'm going to get my paintbrush, and then we are going to start. Good timing, me. Woof. Maybe Michael went to the FNAF 1 location before the FNAF 3? Work team stole Golden Freddy, so Michael... Oh my god. Circus Baby has no storage tank, so what happened to Mr. Afton's... That's a good point. Then again, William Afton's focus isn't really about... Like, with what he's experimenting with, it probably would make more sense for him to have dead children instead of alive ones, because he's trying to... Or the whole point of the experiments, presumably, is to bring him back to life, which is likely where the whole remnant thing came from. However, I don't think William Afton knew about remnant to begin with. I feel like it's just something he found out about soon after the MCI murders, which would make sense. Like, nobody just has knowledge about remnant just right off the bat. Didn't she get clawed by Baby? Probably emptied it. Emptied what? It could have been a different Circus Baby, since the one in the minigame has blue eyes. Afton's daughter's body got crushed by the machinery and wires and metal at another location. Maybe? Like the location prior to before it was Circus Baby's Rentals? Because I feel like with whatever incident that happened at Circus Baby's Pizza World, which is not the same as Circus Baby's Rentals, which is where we are at in sister location, um, there probably would have been a good amount of time in between that. Since the dude's daughter literally got killed, he probably would want a break. Also, how can Baby have a giant claw, a air tank, and a freezer in her? Scott, these are real questions we need answering, not who did the bite of 87 or who the crying child is. Here we go. Eddie's asking the real questions. Well, then again, Scott's the guy who made Bone Lungs, so we can't really take the designs of everything 100% seriously. Make William Afton. Just make a mask of a mask. Or a mask of a human. I am not that good. I could not do a human face. Also, she has it. That's right! Or at least some kind of database. Like, maybe not a full-on jukebox, but... Yeah, she definitely has some kind of song database. Since she can't take song requests, so... Yeah. Circus Baby had blue eyes, but when Afton's daughter got scooped by the claw, the blue eyes turned green. Yeah, make bone lips and ears. Baby has YouTube in her confirmed. Just an internet connection to YouTube in the 80s. And can't forget the bone lungs. Everyone needs a good, healthy set of bone lungs. Seriously though, what was going on with Scrap Trap Skeleton? I feel like Scott, he wasn't originally going to make it a skeleton, but like halfway through modeling, or when he was like making the textures for it, he's just like, okay, you know what? It's after a fire, so maybe I should make him have less skin. That way he looks more burned. That did not work. It just made him look more ridiculous and harder to take seriously in the game. Anything is possible. Skeletons have no lungs. That's our point exactly. I think Scott went out for drinks and got drunk while he was making Scrap Trap. His voice is scary though. I freaking love PJ Haywood's voice. Like I feel like the way he was able to portray William Afton / Springtrap really worked. Like it was good. I feel like I've asked you before, but do you have Discord? I have a Discord account, but I don't have like a server. I mostly just use it to talk to close friends and stuff. I can't do an exact William Afton impression, which is why the William Afton voice I use for the Give Gifts, Give Life episodes is so different. It's because I'm not trying to impersonate him. I'm just like trying to do my own thing. Like, because I feel like it'd be more cringy to try to impersonate him and fail rather than like just make my own voice that doesn't 100% sound like him. Oh, that is a good point. I have no idea how he was how he managed to pull that off. Because I think how do you do Funtime Freddy's voice but in a whisper? Like, just a weird. Thanks for letting me join the party. I can't do that. It's like that voice is meant to be loud. But he managed to pull it off, so congrats to Kellen. How do you do a low but high pitched voice? I don't know. Also, that was pretty spot on. Why, thank you. Um, experience is key. True, he is a professional voice actor. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need multiple coats of this, especially around where the hot glue was, because it's not bonding to, or the acrylic paint's not bonding to where the hot glue was. Okay, I'm done, I swear. I hope you are. What time is it for you? No, it's only 11. Either way, I have worked at that time before. I usually won't live stream then, though, because I'm really tired and I probably would not have any idea what to say. And I probably wouldn't be, like, talking that well to, like, the freaking people in the chat. I could say I always come back in a William Afton impression. And I could do Funtime Freddy impression. But it's kind of different. Well, of course it's going to be a little bit different. Like, the only person who can, like, perfectly replicate one type of voice is the person who did the voice to begin with, so. Okay, before I paint any more of the hat, I am going to let the stuff that's already on it dry, because I still need to do this part, but I can't do that without, like, getting paint all over my hands. So I'm going to be right back, and I'm going to wash off this paintbrush. So, BRB. Okay. Okay. So I got a little cup of water for the paintbrush to sit in. That way I don't have to leave when I need to wash it off again. I'm going to go put the hat right there. And... Okay, let's catch up on the chat. Or the chat. Did you see the video of Funtime... Or of Kellen's or of Kellen singing "Sweet Dreams," but in Funtime Freddy's voice. I need a full version of that. It's literally Kellen screaming for half a video. Uh, um, what or who shall I do next? Like mask wise, I am not 100% sure. Maybe I don't know, because I think what I'm gonna work on next is my is work on some, at least the hand for Springtrap. Um, so yeah, just Google Kellingoff sings "Sweet Dreams" if you want to see it. Someone posted it on the FNAF Reddit. I have not seen that. Hold on, I'm gonna go get the stuff to make Springtrap's fingers and hand. Anyways, okay. So I got the fabric I'm gonna need. Sadly, I couldn't find um the exact same color that Springtrap had. These were the two closest ones I got. I'm thinking about using this darker shade for something like maybe Scraptrap or Springtrap's legs, since his legs are a bit of a different color. But yeah, if you look at this, they're not exactly the same shade. Luckily, they're pretty close, I'd say. But literally unwatchable. Uh, Spring Body, or my Spring Body mask that I'm working on, has a loose jaw, like Golden Freddy. Oh, nice. Um, so yeah, we got about a yard of each kind of fabric. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is I'm probably just going to get some stuff to make it look a bit more grimy and dirty. That way, it doesn't look all like bright and shiny like it does now. Like I'll probably do something similar to what I did with Withered Foxy, where I get like a crayon, kinda, and just uh draw what is it? Or not draw, but like just kind of mark it up. But actually, if we're doing his hand, I do have some scraps of smaller pieces of fabric, so I might be able to do that for his hand. But for his arms and stuff, I'm definitely gonna have to use that. So I'll be right back to see if I can find any of that. Time to break out the bottle of dirt. Okay, here's a plastic bag that I put a bunch of scraps of fabric in whenever I'm done making something. Of course, it always creates this huge mess whenever I pull anything out, because I can't just pull one thing out, everything comes out at once. And even worse, the things we want is like at the very bottom, so. So, now we just kind of gotta sift through this stuff. So, I'm trying to remember. This better have been the right thing. Here we go. So we got this thing right here that we could definitely use. So I'm going to move this stuff back out of the way. And then we're going to use this to make the palm of the hand. So we're going to want to use this side. It's all wrinkly. Yeah, it's fine. We're going to want to use like this side because it's wider. I'm going to cut it down through there. And then we're going to want to trim some of this off just to kind of even stuff out. Still though, before you end the stream, for the night. You need to watch that video. It's literally the best thing. I might watch it after the stream since I'm working on, or I want to at least get this stuff done, and that might take a little while, and we're already like an hour into the stream. I'd rather not go over like 2 hours and stuff, or you know what I mean. You should make black glove that has the parts of Spring Bonnie's hand and glue together the parts so you don't have to put on the parts separately. Um, the main reason why I do that for Spring Bonnie is because uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, I want it to look like it's like a spring suit. So I'm going to put like gaps in the fingers and stuff and other things. That way you could see the person underneath. For Springtrap, I do have black gloves though that I put the rings on top of. So yeah, got to go over 5 hours for the best upload experience. Holy shit, that video is amazing. I'm guessing he found it. Uh, okay, we could cut this down a little bit more. So I'm gonna here. Actually, before I do that, let's just figure out just how much I'm going over. So about from here. It's weird to think that I still have some leftover fabric from the Springtrap mask, even after I made the majority of his torso, his right arm, and the entirety of Plush Trap. Okay, I don't want to make it too tight because then it'll be a pain to get in and out of, especially if I'm wearing a glove underneath it. So because the palm slash like yeah, the palm part is it's just fabric. That way it's easier to bend my hand with it on. Um, but yeah. Um, I wonder who Scott's gonna release tomorrow. Since it can't be a FNAF 6 character, so it has to be a FNAF SL character. Probably. Um, unless he releases like some background thing, like maybe Candy Cadet or the freaking Fruit Punch clowns. Oh, what the? Okay, that light it just went out. Okay. I might have to end the stream soon because of that. Um, but yeah, hold on. Let me see how well this fits. Oh, that's pretty good. Like I said, I didn't want it to be too tight, so this is like perfect. So I'm gonna have to make a little slit right here. That way I can kind of start moving my thumb a little bit. Then we're gonna cut one more little slit vertically, and we're gonna cut around where those slits are. Like just kind of cut off the little corner pieces we made. And then we'll have a nice little hole to put the thumb through. There we go. Wait, still got one little thread just kind of hanging on. Okay. So there we go. Hold on. I'm kind of bothered that this light just turned itself off. I've always had problems with that light. So holy heck. It's like one of those like freaking weird fingerless gloves you see like in Pokemon or something like that. Alright, so next, before we move on to anything else, I'm going to want to take some of this, because I know he has some like withering on his hand, so I'm going to get some of this darker green that I had. Fun fact about that dark green stuff, that was just kind of something I found um, just in our house already, because we had like a bunch of scrap fabric, but not enough to make like a full mask. So I used that to um, make the withering on Springtrap over there. Anyways, so I'm going to quickly look up a reference picture to see what Springtrap's left hand looks like. Okay, so Springtrap. So I made his right hand last time. So this time would be his left one right there. So, okay, so I'm going to have to make a little cut. Oh no, that's further back down here. Around my knuckles over here. And I don't have to worry about making it look nice because it's supposed to look like tears and stuff. I actually started making a Withered Foxy cosplay, which I'm hoping will be finished soon. I have all the limbs and torso done, and there was a lot of like loose cutting like this for that since it's Withered Foxy. Okay, let's quickly take this off, and then I'm gonna place, or we're gonna glue on the darker green fabric. You'll have to use a skeleton glove and put green fabric on it to make Scraptrap's hand. Probably. Um, he almost has like a complete skeleton hand, which is kind of weird. Well, I'm not sure why it's weird, but it just kind of seems weird. Um, Springtrap rides a motorcycle confirmed. Pretty sure it looks like a left hand, just saying. Also, gotta chop off your fingers to get the best cosplay experience. Helpful tips from Eddie. Okay, and then the reason why I wanted the reference was so I could figure out which or how the withering looked on his hand. Or leave the fingers that are removed in the game just black so you can make your so you could make Springtrap's hand. Yeah, like I said, I'm probably going to wear a black glove underneath it. Implying Springtraps wasn't a helpful tip. That was helpful. Alright, and then we're just gonna glue that part on just to kind of seal it off. And then I think once we'd only have like one little spot to hot glue just to make sure everything stayed in place. Okay. So that's one part of the withering done. Uh, I bet Scraptrap's bones are actually made out of flesh. The madman. And then we're going to make a tiny little hole. Here, let me get my reference out again. So that hole will have to be about right here. Okay. We can make that a little bit bigger. What I was doing originally with Springtrap's Withering was I was getting a crappier pair of scissors and just what is it? Just kind of going to town with that because since the scissors weren't as good, they like created like these worse cuts and like it was a lot more rough. Why do Springtrap models have no withering or damage on the back and the back of the head? Well, we never really see the back of their torsos and stuff, or of Springtrap's torso. So, since we don't really know, we just assume there's nothing and just kind of leave it at that. I actually do have a little withering thing on the back of Springtrap, but it was not done on purpose. The way I wrapped everything around, I had like this little hole left in the back where the fabric didn't cover, so I just slipped this red leather behind there to look like Springtrap's corpse, and everything was good. Hi, Icarus. Welcome to the stream. I just noticed we all forgot about Scraptrap's bone nose. That is true. Most people did, especially in like that fan models. I just almost burned myself. I thought I did for a second, and it's like, oh wait, I didn't. Oh, that's neat. But yeah, in most of the fan models, he has like a normal skeleton nose. But in the actual model, he has like got this weird freaking protrusion, like he has a bone nose. So I don't even want to touch that. Okay. Scraptrap's skull mouth looks weird. Probably because of the lips and the fact that it doesn't grin. I swear, I want to say the only explanation for this is that was meant to be an endo head. And like it was going to be like that endo head that we see in the FNAF 4 8-bit minigame that's in the back. But there's like no evidence to back that up. Which is probably why we see like flesh, like actual flesh on the thing. But again, we don't have really any evidence to prove that. So for now, all the best assumption we can make is that it's an actual freaking bone nose. Or just bone lips. The top and bottom jaw are freaking connected too. Nobody seems to be worried about that. Like, the top jaw is like melted into the bottom jaw. You should make a tutorial video on how you make these. Probably. William was a very ugly guy. Probably why he started killing kids. Well, he couldn't have been that ugly for him to have at least 2 children. Or 3 children, sorry. I'm bored. Well, you're always free to click off the stream, or you could always just kind of talk in the chat if you want. And then for the next part, we need to make some little rings for the fingers. Now, luckily, I already have a bunch of little strips that I cut out at the beginning of the stream that I was going to use for like the sides of the ears and stuff for Withered Freddy. But yeah, I didn't end up using these ones, and I went with a different one. So now we got a bunch of rings to use. So since we're going to be wearing a glove underneath these, we want to make these slightly looser. His wife was actually #1 crate, and that's why she doesn't appear in the games. That or his wife was blind. The problem with the first Springtrap glove that I made is that it's too tight, so it starts getting uncomfortable, especially if worn for like a long amount of time. Okay, so I don't think we're going to finish the hand on the stream because I'm thinking about ending the stream soon. But yeah. I would like Scrap Trap to have the same suit, but all burnt, and have a missing arm that doesn't kind of have the shape of old Bonnie's arm. I can kind of agree with you there. That's what everybody was thinking and hoping for when we saw that little teaser in the what were they? The anniversary pictures we got on Scott Games, I think it was. Okay, so for this part, or for the next part, we're going to wrap up the little ring in fabric. So we're going to kind of cut off a decent length and then just glue it on. This part gets really tedious, so again, it'd probably be a good idea to not live stream it and like just kind of do this on my free time later. However, Eddie did ask for something like this at the beginning of the stream, so I think we'll at least get 1, maybe 2 fingers done. And then we'll probably cut the stream there. William kidnapped a woman and took her in the back. Gave her an onion ring, and she said, I will marry you for that onion ring. The backstory was Burger King ran out of the onion rings, and William had TH. Or the last one. I don't think I've ever had an onion ring from Burger King. Like, the last place I remember eating onion rings at was probably Red Robin's, which is like my favorite place to get burgers. Like, seriously, those things are like heavenly. And then with all this excess fabric and stuff that's on here, we could do one of 2 things. We could either snip it off, or we could put some hot glue around the outer edge of the ring and just kind of start folding the pieces inward and like start gluing them in. So I think I'm going to do the latter option just because it's a little bit easier. Or not easier, it's definitely a lot more work than just cutting them off. But it will look better. Red Robin's is good. It freaking is. Yum. Red Robin. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit tired too, so that's another reason why I might have to end the stream soon. Because, yeah, we've been streaming for like, what, 4 hours? Not 4 hours. Where did I get that? 1.5 hours. Let's see. Darn, time flies if it was 4 hours. What would you do if you were chased by an animatronic? I would probably throw a glass of water on it. Do what most people do in day shift at Freddy's. I don't. Oh, okay, never mind. Never. I was about to say I don't like where this is going, and then you actually said it. I'm like, I would probably die. And if you sleep more, you live longer. But if you don't sleep more, you'll get sick and die. Well, I'm probably gonna get sick and die at some point in the future. Actually, no, because even though I'm staying up late, I've been waking up at pretty late times as well. So I think I'm good. And all that work went into like just one ring. Because we are just now barely finishing up. Hey, we're technically not even done. We gotta like trim some of it down too. Um, the lucky thing with Springtrap is that you don't have to make all of his fingers since he's missing some parts. Depends on how fast the animatronic moves. True. All right, first ring done. Finally. um, I think I lied when I said ears were my least favorite part. I think the rings for like spring lock fingers are, just because they take forever. Like that's about the time it took me to build one of these rings is just a little bit shorter than the time it takes me to build like an entire limb. Because for the limbs I have to do like the same thing except on a smaller scale. So for the thumbs I only do like 2 segments. That way um it's easier to just kind of fit them on. I thought the rings were just felt. No, the rings have actual cardboard on them. This is done mostly because they would just lose their shape. Not only that, but it's easier to put to just kind of wrap stuff around them. So I think we're going to finish off the thumb, and then I'm going to call it for the stream. And then I'll see you guys sometime next week. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this stream was a little bit late, so sorry. $3 a.m. for me now. Holy crap. Yeah, I need to start going to bed at like earlier times. I might start live streaming earlier once summer ends, just because around that time I'll have to be going to bed sooner, or since I gotta wake up for school in the morning. Okay, so this fabric is like just enough to cover the ring. So the tips of the rings are a somewhat different story. Like the fingertips, because I have to do something slightly different with them since I have to cover up the top. Oh crap! Hold on. I'm doing this out of order. Let me just. Ow! 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 That freaking hurt. I just put my thumb on like freaking hot glue I just put down. My sleeping is messed up. I go to bed at 7 a.m. and wake up at like 5 p.m. I know. Okay, so for the caps or the fingertips, we gotta like cut off like a little square of cardboard, and we just kind of stretch it over the top like this. Um, hate to break it to you, but I don't think I'd be getting blood from burns. Let's see. So yeah, we're just gonna glue down a small portion of this right there. Um, and then we're going to stretch it across to the other side and put another little dab of hot glue on that side. Um, I'm heading to sleep. See you later, guys. Um, see you, random 3D modeler. Thank you for joining the stream. Um, you like egg? I do like egg. Egg is amazing. Yeah, the fingertips usually take a little bit longer since you have to deal with more fabric with them. What would you do if you were in a spring lock suit while the spring locks were almost loose and you had to stay in it for a night? I would not move, and I would do whatever I could to keep those spring locks wound up. The thing with the fingertips of these, though, is you don't want to make the fabric on them um, too tight, or else, like, it'll just be like a weird cylinder. So you want to be able to like have a little bit of moving room in them, like that way it could like get rounded out at the top, kind of like that. Um, Except I screwed it up a little bit. Ah, crap! I just like flipped that entire thing. Rip blood circulation. Okay. Let me add a little bit more hot glue onto there just to make sure it's nice and secure. But if you don't move, it won't trigger them. But if you don't control your heavy breathing, um, they will moisten the spring locks. Well, you know what the heavy says, moist and delicious. Okay, so now we're just gonna want to trim some of this off. And then we are just about good. So that's the thumb uh, for it. It's a little bit loose right now because I'm going to be, um, what is it? I'm going to be putting a glove underneath and it'll be a lot more tighter with the glove in between this and my skin. So yeah. So that's the thumb, and I think that about wraps it up for this stream. Thanks to everyone who tuned in. And it was fun. Next week's video will probably be the finished product for Withered Freddy. So, again, thank you for tuning in, and good night. I will see you guys in the next video or stream or whatever I do next. Bye.